chilly Tennessee. Howdy, gang. Happy Saturday night. We are here. We are back. We are smiling tonight. And now we're just going to wait for a computer screen to come up and see if you guys can see me. So, TikTok, and here comes the screen. And there's the stupid ad. So, we will clear that out and move all this to there. Nest Prepper, Von Mousetrap, Fastball, Motimer, Susan Musser, Sweet Leap, Robert, Farm Ranch, Kevin Little, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Cool. You guys can see me, hear me. Little snafu on my end here in the last 5 minutes because, of course, YouTube had to change the way that creators set up live streams again. And so it was like, okay, scramble real quick so we didn't have the vertical screen again, but got it figured out fast enough. I love how they do all this stuff. I mean, that's like 3 weeks in a row they've changed stuff, and they don't tell us; they just do it. It's like, okay, they'll figure it out. It's like, because it's what I do all day is I'm going in to look and see what idiotic moves YouTube's making to make my life more difficult. And so it's like, all right, 5-10 minutes before the live stream starts, and I get set up. It's like, oh crap, I'm vertical again. What do they do this time? So yeah, fun stuff. But all right, so for those of you that are paying attention, hopefully this is the end of the Nikki Haley embarrassment. As we stand right now, I'm watching as the results come in. Trump is up by 22 points. Figure he'll probably come in around 25 by the time all's said and done. Nikki Haley may get a couple of delegates because the way South Carolina does this is the at-large delegates all go to the winner of the state, but each separate district gets 1 or 2 votes or something. So she may get somewhere 4 or 6. No big surprise. She's winning Charleston and Columbia and losing the rest of the state. It's funny watching and reading some of the interviews with the exit polls as, well, I'm a Democrat and I came in today to vote for Nikki Haley because I've got to do whatever I can to stop Donald Trump from being the candidate. That ain't going to go too far. I mean, I know what she's doing, and I'll get to that in just a second. But, that's wonderful. She's pulling what, 30, what does she got right now? 38.8% of the vote. Now, not a whole lot of Democrats are probably going out to vote for Trump, but you have Democrats that are going out to vote for Nikki Haley. Hate to tell you this, Nikki, in November, they ain't voting for you if you were on the ticket, okay? Now, I understand why you're staying in the race. You've got this delusional idea that Trump's going to prison and that's going to automatically make you the nominee. It don't work that way. I hate to tell you this, okay? Just because you have more delegates than Ron DeSantis or Ramaswamy or anybody else doesn't mean that automatically just because you finish in second, you're getting it. Right? Okay. This is where you have a contested convention. And I will tell you this with pretty good certainty. There ain't a freaking Trump voter in this country that would vote for Comrade Nikki. All right. Just not happening. Okay. But like I said to Mrs. P, she's doing the Chris Christie right now. She's enjoying traveling around the country, staying in nice hotels, eating free meals on donors' dimes, knowing she has no chance. Now, my guess is she'll probably drop out tomorrow or Monday. If she doesn't, thank God we've only got about 3 weeks left to deal with her, because once Super Tuesday rolls around, that should put Trump over the 1,200 and whatever delegates, and then her political career is over, and we never have to hear from this lying witch again who's, Hillary Clinton is the reason I got into politics. Tells you everything you need to know about this witch. So, yeah, that was that. Of course, we got the story today, if you all saw that, about the University of Georgia student, who's out jogging murdered the other day. Surprise, surprise, it was by an illegal, you know. So we have another death on Joe's hands, okay, that he is responsible for, you know. I'd love to see, what I'd really love to see is them charge him as an accomplice to murder. Because if it wasn't for Biden allowing the illegals to come in the country, this woman would still be alive. Chances are, unless she got hit by a car or something like that. But yeah, I mean, this is how we've got to look at this. It's to the point where this administration doesn't care about America's dead. You know, they're fine with Americans getting killed. You know, I want to know this. You know, George Floyd's family got what, $70 million? There was a statue made of him. What do we have? 3 weeks of riots. What's her family going to get? You know, it's my question. You know, she was a upstanding college student I believe, going to med school, not a cracked out thief who had a history of counterfeiting and a rap sheet a mile long. Yeah, which person should we be celebrating again? Oh yeah, you know, kind of go into that. Yeah, so, and then of course we get all the fun, you know, I'll tell you this, I love watching YouTube videos or reading comments under articles or something like that, and the idiots that are amongst us, okay? And I mean, we could talk all about the people who were faking the stuff today saying, you know, 701, after they'd already called Trump the presumed winner of South Carolina, as soon as the polls closed, posting all these fake things that Nikki Haley won, you know, those idiots, like they think that she has a chance. Listening to, I mean, a couple of them were just absolute hilarious this week. The mental midgets, the complete dregs of society, stupid people who think, oh, the AT&T towers that went down the other day, that was from a solar flare. And they actually believe this. I'm going, yeah, I can just see it. The sun was thinking, going, okay, I'm going to send a solar flare down to Earth. I'm going to hit all the AT&T towers, but I'm going to leave the Verizon ones and the Singular Wireless ones and the T-Mobile. I won't touch those, but I'm going to go after the AT&T towers. That was what the sun was thinking, according to these people. You know, flat earthers, you know, idiots, or the other ones who are going, you know, these were some of the comments that, of course, always get deleted, you know, about my ignorance about Bitcoin. Yeah. I don't know anything about how markets work or finance, you know, never did, you know, didn't get a degree in that, didn't, you know, work on Wall Street. I don't know anything about finance, right? And he's been, oh, Bitcoin is the future. And my answer to all of them is this, okay? I mean, I'll give you this. Bitcoin is like, remember the late 90s investing in .com stocks? You know, that's what Bitcoin is. It's like, okay, maybe you get really lucky and you make some money, or maybe you go broke. That's what it is. It's complete. It's like betting on red on the roulette wheel, okay? But I ask them all the time, I'm like, if Bitcoin is the answer to everything, please tell me what grocery store takes Bitcoin? Does your electric company take Bitcoin? Does your mortgage company take Bitcoin? Does Walmart take Bitcoin? Does the gas station take Bitcoin? Well, let's see. Pretty much everywhere I spend my money doesn't accept Bitcoin. So the only way your Bitcoin is any good is if you convert it into dollars first, and then you can spend it, right? Okay. But when the dollars aren't there, what are you going to convert the Bitcoin into? Gold and silver? I don't think so. Nobody's who's holding gold and silver is going to go, yeah, you know what? I've got this stuff right here that's been money for 2,000 years, and I'm going to give it to your imagination. Cool. So I said, ignorant morons. I love reading their comments because I'm like, I thought Biden voters were the stupidest people in the country, and then I see these people. So, yes, just humorous. All right, so there's my fun for tonight. If you guys want to know the latest on the diet, I had lost 2.5 pounds this week, so I am now down to, or now I have dropped 14.5 pounds. Mrs. P is down 11, so she is happy. We are continuing on, and in my opinion, losing weight at a healthy rate. Okay, it's not, oh my God, I lost 10 pounds a week. Okay, that ain't healthy. All right, so. And as I keep telling her, she's like, oh, I wish it was more. I'm like, look, you didn't put on this weight in 3 weeks. I say you're going to lose it in 3 weeks, So we just keep on going and doing our thing. And as long as we see little bits of progress once a week, Saturday morning weigh-in, I'm happy. So that was it. But I had, like I said last week, I was telling you guys, for those guys who are doing this with me, maybe you understand too. You got to figure out what works for you to make it work, okay? And for the longest time, I pretty much ever since we've been married, we've been a 2-meal-a-day family. We'll have breakfast at, say, around 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and then we'd have dinner around 6. And I got to the point, I was like, breakfast come around at 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, I'm not hungry. But I'd eat anyway, because that was just the time that we ate. And then I was still full from breakfast, but it was 6 o'clock. It was dinner time, so we ate dinner. And I told Mrs. P about a week ago, I'm like, I keep hearing all this OMAD, 1 meal a day stuff, and, eat when you're hungry. I said, I'm going to go do this. So I've been eating dinner at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? And I'm not hungry until about 3 o'clock the next day. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? Now I'm getting hungry. Now I'm ready to eat. So, that was one of the things that I figured worked for me. Now, she still needs a small breakfast or, a brunch, whatever you want to call it, what time we ate. There ain't a one-size-fits-all to this either, okay? So we think we're getting it dialed in to where we would need to be, but doing well. So, and I thank you guys who say that you think my face looks thinner or something. Maybe it does a little, I don't know, but maybe it's just the shirts I'm wearing, who knows. But thank you for the support that you guys are giving. I look the emails and stuff like that telling me how you guys are doing and everything. So that's fun to do this all together. So, all right, that is me running my mouth for 12 minutes. Let's get into some Q&A. As per normal, if you got questions for me, please put them in all caps. Just like every other YouTube channel, makes it easier for me to find them. The only thing I do require is that you guys treat everybody in here, including me, civilly. Okay, difference of opinion is totally acceptable. I get that. We don't all think the same. I don't expect everybody to agree with me all the time. Most of the time, yeah, not all the time. But disagreement's fine. But being rude about it, no, that you don't come back. Okay, the mods know that. That is like the cardinal sin on here. That will get you booted for good. Okay. Please don't spam the chat room. Don't use 50 emojis or something like that. Try to respect everybody else in here too. So do that. Those will get deleted. Those won't get you banned. The being an asshole will get you banned. Okay. Or spam or something like that. But mods are pretty good about keeping all that up. We got new mods. They picked up real quick. So I appreciate all of them doing a good job. So thank you guys. All right, let's get to the top and see what we are talking about tonight, as far as I can go. All right. Huts John says, I can see and hear you fine, but the voices say you're not real. Dude, stop taking the drugs. I'm real. Okay, those voices in your head, they ain't. I know, I'm kidding. Okay. Joe Shinpaw, what's the advantage of using hydrogen peroxide, Epsom salt, and baking soda in the garden? most of it's wives' tales. Okay. Uh, Epsom salts because you can add a little bit of magnesium to it, but the problem with adding Epsom salts in a garden, your chances are you're probably doing more harm than good. Hydrogen peroxide and baking soda. Uh, Again, I'm going to say that's kind of like putting the curly Q wires in the garden. Was it electrolysis or electroculture or whatever it is? It's a wives' tale. It doesn't work. Or at least, let's put it this way. Maybe other people think it does. I tried it. I got zero difference in the electroculture. In my opinion, it's a wives' tale. Uh, but when you're talking about hydrogen peroxide, Epsom salt, baking soda, and stuff like that, uh, baking soda especially not. That's actually detrimental. You're adding salts to your soil, so you don't want to do that. Epsom salt, like I said, magnesium, but you're going to be hard pressed anywhere in the United States to find soil that's got a magnesium deficiency to it. Hydrogen peroxide. I know some people say maybe it'll have something for uh, pest control or something like that, but you know, there really isn't any advantage to any of them. Don't waste your time, waste your money with them. And I know there's going to be people that disagree with me, and that's fine. But yes, my opinion, I gave him my opinion. Roger Simon, I like my hat. I do too. It's why I wear it. Thank you. Prep-rel, smartass. Do I think Nikki should be made to eat okra only for a full month? I'd rather have her just, drink ocean water from about 50 miles offshore with like a little rubber ducky floaty and a knife, and that would be it. Get rid of her permanently. David Haley, according to Rhino Haley, she's staying till the end. Yeah, I mean, I know. Ron DeSantis said he wasn't dropping out after Iowa either, and the next day he dropped out. Okay. I mean, eventually the donors dry up. The donors go, you know what? She just got hammered in her home state by, I don't know, what is it right now? It is, let's see. Oh, there we go. She is down by over 20 points with 69% of the vote in. Okay. And finally, the donors go, we're just pissing away money here. This is a waste of time. And when she runs out of money, what do? Do you honestly think she's going to pay for it out of her own pocket? That ain't happening. Okay. The RNC is not going, yeah, you know what? Rather than save the money and spend it on Trump beating Biden, we'll give it to you for a lost cause. No. When the money runs out, so does she. And the money's going to start running out real fast after she gets clobbered in her home state tonight. But yeah, she says she's staying to the end, but and Nikki Haley's a Democrat. Or, well, she's a rhino. Okay. If her mouth's moving, she's lying. Let's see. Okay. Flint McRock, how much longer are people in Utah going to vote for Mitt Romney? Well, they don't have to anymore. Mitt Romney's already said he's not running for re-election, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. I mean, good riddance to bad trash. Romney's another uber rhino. So, Milo's home bike shop, she'll stay in because her backer is Soros. Yeah, but even George Soros or Alex Soros isn't dumb enough to go, hey, we'll keep pissing away money even though she's lost. Okay. Long and short of it, like I said, she may stay in for another 3 weeks until once Super Tuesday rolls around and Trump goes over the top of the 1,200 some odd delegates that he needs. He goes, I'm done. Okay. Nikki, you can have the rest of the states. You still can't catch me. So, not that it matters because, remember, this is the candidate that lost to none of the above. Okay. That tells you people would rather have nobody than Nikki Haley. Von Mousetrap, I wonder, can we the people sue the federal government for this invasion? That's a problem. Suing the federal government is pretty much practically impossible, at least monetarily. So, yeah, I mean, the only way you're getting back at the federal government is by voting the people out. That's your courtroom. I mean, in a nutshell, that's just basically it. Uh, Country Humans Network. Don't forget Dante Wright in Minnesota. Yeah, there's another winner. Let's see. 10-4, man. The solar flare ate my homework. Yeah, that's about the logic of some of these people. They think you're going to believe it. Yeah, Reagan dog. Yeah, there's solar flares at night. You know, I mean, sure, it's not instantaneous. It takes time for a solar flare to come, and the sun's always shining. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Susan Lathrop, I look badass all in black. Okay, well, it was just the way it worked today with what I wore. It was going to be cold today, so I put turtleneck on. I think I got up to a whopping 37 here today. And I know some of you are going to go, my God, that's a heat wave. I get it. But for Tennessee, that's cold. Oh, I got a good one for you here. About 10 minutes before the live stream started, I got a text asking if this was still my phone number. And I recognized the area code 248 was Michigan. And it was signed Jim. Okay. Now, there's a friend of mine from high school. Mind you, I graduated high school in 1984. Okay. That I saw he came out to New Hampshire on business and met with me, and that had to be 2012, 2011, maybe. And we had dinner. Haven't talked to him since. Haven't seen him since, obviously. All of a sudden, out of sheer blue, I get this text tonight. It's like, okay, yeah. Lots of things changed in my life. Like I moved 4 different states, but be interesting. So I'm gonna call him after the live stream's over tonight. See how that interesting. It's like, okay, there's a country I had not heard from in 12 years. Enchanted Scrapper. Actually, stores in South Florida do take Bitcoin. Oh, sure. There's a few. I mean, I understand that. Okay, there's a couple. Let's see. I can remember if I want to buy gold or silver online, they'll take Bitcoin, but they charge about a $2 premium over the cost of cash. So you got an extra 10%. And then I remember there was one guy when I was in Vegas. He was out to service something on my house. I don't remember what it was. And he said I could pay him in cash or I could pay him in Bitcoin. Other than that, I've never seen any place that takes Bitcoin for payment. Now, granted, I don't shop in every place in the world. I'm certain that there are some, but I would venture to guess that it's probably less than 1% of the retail providers in the country will take Bitcoin. It's useless. It's a uber speculative investment. I will give you that. Okay, that has no fundamentals behind it whatsoever. But hey, if people want to play the lottery, that's an uber speculative investment too. So people do that. John Hasty, what's for dinner? We made a pot roast, so that was it, which is kind of boring. It's like, what you have in a pot roast? Roast. That was it. No potatoes, no carrots, no onions, just the meat. So, last Boy Scout. If people think that the fiat U.S. dollar is backed by nothing, what do they think Bitcoin's backed by? Exactly. Mouse farts for all. I mean, that would be a step up. Okay. Raleigh Rank, sardines in a can packed in oil, water, mustard. How long do they last? What way lasts longer? Okay, it's funny because I've got 6 dozen cans of sardines sitting on the counter here next to me. Uh, they'll last for years. I mean, 5, 6, 7, 10 years, no problem. Don't worry about how long they last. Uh, I would definitely get them packed in water. Okay. And I'm not talking about for the health reasons or diet or anything like that. I'm talking because the water is not going to potentially go rancid, where the vegetable oil that it's packed in could. I can't speak about the mustard. Uh, that's probably better than vegetable oil, but all I'd say is if you're going to buy sardines, buy them in water. Okay. No, actually, I don't have rosy cheeks. I think that's just the way the light's shining in here. Let's see. Robin Robinson, Fort Knox in Kentucky has heavy artillery going on. And it could just be a training exercise. Don't freak out all the time when military's doing something. I know you see these YouTube channels. It's like, oh my God, there's military vehicles going on a train. Yeah. Well, how do you think they move military vehicles around to training exercises? I mean, when you need to freak out is when you see tanks going down the street. That's when you freak out. Okay. Mountain Man, do I take nitric oxide supplements? You need nitric oxide for all the organs in your body. I am taking a over 50 multivitamin supplement, which basically has everything in it. So yes. Let's see. Donnie G, the beekeeper, that's intermittent fasting. Yeah, I mean, from everything I read about it, the 16-8, or some people do it as an 18-6. I'm basically doing it as eat 24 hours, eat again. So, 24-hour fast, which works for me. If I'm not hungry, why eat? It's not hard to break myself. It's like we're eating because that was the normal thing to do at that time of day. It's like if I'm eating when I'm not hungry, that's how I wind up gaining the weight. Mink Ya, what store-bought soil is good for strawberries and raised beds? I mean, anything like you got to be careful with berries because different berries like different kinds of soil. Like blueberries like acidic soil, strawberries not so much. If you got regular garden soil, I'm assuming you're talking small raised beds because otherwise you're going to pay a mint for it. Just regular garden soil, you don't have to buy the Miracle Grow, buy the Walmart brand garden soil or whatever. But the one thing I would suggest is get the brand is Job's, and the fertilizer is called Berry Tone, and get that and use it according to the instructions on there. That stuff works great for strawberries. Missing link, Trump beat Haley, no surprise. We could have told, we knew this 2 months ago that this was going to happen. The only thing was, what was the margin going to be? And everybody said somewhere between 20 and 30 points. Okay. Looks like he's going to come in around 25. That's a shellacking. That's embarrassing for Nikki Haley. But, hey, she doesn't care. Stubborn forever. My wife and I are expecting our first kid this summer. Congratulations. Any preps to get now for the kid? If you can afford it, depending on what you're doing, I would get as many of the diapers, if you're going to use disposable diapers, every size that you can. The price of diapers does not go down, okay? And, remember what it is. It's plastic and cotton, basically. If we have a drought, you have less cotton. If we plastic, we know the war on plastic right now. That would be the biggest thing I would do. The other thing I would get is any sort of the infant medicines, because I'm going to tell you this, you are going to be sucking out snot out of noses and things like that. You know, baby wipes, you should already have boatloads of those in your preps. But things like that. The most important thing that you're going to have to do is cleanliness. You know, that would be what I'd focus on. Food, sure. I mean, you know, you're going to be starting off, I don't know if your wife is breastfeeding or formula. Uh, you know, you can go get the formula, but I wouldn't advise that because you don't know yet. You know, the last thing you want to do is go out and buy 2 cases of Similac and find out that the baby's allergic to it, and you've got to do something else. Uh, and then, you know, but however you're going to do that, the the biggest thing that I would do pre birth is diapers because guaranteed you're gonna need them. Uh, Celine 77 star 99. It's easier for men to do OMAD. Enjoy the breakfast and dinner, Mrs. P. And that's what I've told her the whole time. And you guys know this. It's like, I'm doing this way. You do what works for you. Okay. And I mean, and that's important for me to tell anybody in anything, you know, you do what works for you. If, you know, again, how many times have we talked on here? There's no one size fits all. If you prefer shooting 45 ACP to 9mm, go for it. Okay. Or vice versa. If you prefer an AR over an AK or vice versa, go for it. You know, just because some talking head on YouTube says this is what I use doesn't mean that's what you have to use. I use what's best for me. You use what's best for you. For me, 1 meal a day seems the way to go. For Mrs. P, 2 meals a day seems the way to go. You do what works. Okay. That's it, you know. So, but I agree with you. I mean, it is easier for men to do it because we carry, I mean, having a bigger body, we carry more energy, you know, in us. You know, and by energy, I mean fat. Let's see. And I gotta find where I was again. Hang on. All right, as far as we can go. Yeah, it was pretty close. Okay. Darlene Carter received 2 pear trees for her birthday today. There you go. Should I plant now or after the freeze next week? If you're going to have a freeze next week, wait till afterwards. No, I mean, if you can put, I'm hoping you can put them in the garage or in the house or something like that. You know, they should be wintered by now. I mean, you could plant them now if you want. It's not going to hurt them. The only problem is I don't know where you are. And if that ground is still frozen down to where the roots are, it's not going to do any good. I just wait until after the freeze. Praying for us all. My pepper plants are coming up, but now have mold. What do I do? You have mold because you watered them too much. Okay, cut back on the, you know, I'm assuming you mean mold on the soil. That's kind of normal. Scrape that off with a knife or a pencil or something like that, and don't water the plant so much. Okay, they don't need. That's the reason you're getting the mold. Okay, slow down on your water. Milo's Home Bike Shop again. Is being a prepper for 30 years and starting to become a bicycle mechanic a good idea? Sure. You know, why not? I mean, if we have no gas powered vehicle availability, unlike these idiots that think, oh, yeah, we're going to go to wood gasifiers, right? Okay, sure. You know, you might see one of those a county if you're lucky. Bicycles and horseback are going to be your 2 main methods of transportation. Somebody needs to know how to fix them. And I mean, a bicycle mechanic, the skills in knowing how to do it. And I'm not talking about, you know, you're out working on, you know, multi-$1,000 racing bikes and stuff like that. I'm talking about if you know how to fix the brakes, fix a derailleur on there, things like that, you know, those sorts of things that, could get broken, could get bent, whatever. I'm not talking about, crazy stuff to, you know, make the weight 6 ounces lighter so somebody can win the Tour de France. No. But yeah, I mean, a bicycle mechanic is going to be a huge skill for somebody to have. Charlie R, if I'm getting that right, or Charlie R, somehow. Sorry about that. Who do I think Trump will take as his VP into selection? Well, the talk this week all of a sudden has been about what's her nuts, chick from Florida or chick from Hawaii, the former Tulsi Gabbard. Okay, I think that would be a stupid move on Trump's part. I think that the reason that you're hearing the talk is, oh, he's got to have a woman. So they're playing the identity politics bullshit that, we all bitch about with the Democrats anyway. I want him to pick the most qualified person. I also don't like the fact that even though she left the Democrat Party, it's not, the old line, I didn't leave the Democrat Party, the Democrat Party left me. That's where she is. The Democrat Party went socialist. She's still got moderate liberal ideas. Okay. And while she can talk up a great storm, that's great. She's still not a conservative. And I don't want liberals anywhere near the decision-making process. The more of them we can get rid of, the better chance we have of saving this country. There's talk on Sarah Huckabee Sanders again. She's already said she doesn't want to do it. I know people keep throwing Ron DeSantis' name out there. I don't see Trump and DeSantis being able to. Trump needs somebody he can work with. Not all presidents do. I mean, nobody can work with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They don't even talk to each other. Okay. She was on there as a diversity VP. That was it. Not qualified, of course. Not that the president's qualified. But, then you hear talk about Tim Scott or Byron Donalds. I like both of them, no question. But all we're going to hear then is they got picked because they were black. I don't want to hear that crap. I don't want to hear he was a woman, he's black, or she was a woman. Sorry, I'm not a liberal. I know what a woman is. I don't want to hear all that. I want to see the most qualified person. Okay. Now, the interesting one is you think about all the names that are getting run out there that have possibilities. Tim Scott, Byron Donalds, Vivek Ramaswamy, Ron DeSantis, Kristi Noem, and Carrie Lake. The only white guy in there is Ron DeSantis, and he doesn't have a chance or shouldn't. Okay. I don't want to see Carrie Lake because I think she'd be better off served taking that seat back from Kirsten Sinema. Kristi Noem would be good, but I don't know if she's ready for primetime again. I mean, personally, the one I'd like to see more than anything else would probably be Tim Scott, I think, or Ramaswamy. And I know a lot of people don't like Ramaswamy, think he's a fake conservative. I don't agree. Okay. My opinion again. But those would be the two I'd like to see. Whether I'm right or wrong, I don't know. I'm not even getting into the Veep stakes because, well, nobody could have pulled Mike Pence out of a hat, in 2016. Steve Sams, have I tried pickled eggs? I love pickled eggs. So, yeah, I've tried them many times. My favorite ones are when you pickle them in beet juice. That's the best ones. Lillian O'Neill, what's my thoughts on buying crypto XRP? I don't care what crypto it is. I wouldn't piss on somebody who bought crypto. Somebody comes to my house and says, hey, I want to buy your car, buy your house, buy this, whatever. I'm going to pay you in crypto. I'm like, well, you ain't getting it because your crypto is worth nothing to me. Remember, something is only worth what somebody else will give you for it. Crypto to me, I don't care. They can say it's worth $50,000 or whatever it is. To me, it's worth a big fat zero. So I wouldn't buy any crypto. Just me. If you want to go play the lottery, go for it. Okay. Forest Ghost Preparedness or satellite phones, a good alternative option for commo when the grid goes dark. some people say so. I'm going to say no. Okay. Because what's the first thing they're going to take out? The satellites. Okay. That's gonna go before anything else, because take out the grid, take out commo. That's it. So no, I don't. Again, this is me trying to logically figure out what's going to happen, but no, I don't think sat phones are the answer at all. Kitsy Witty, eating short ribs and good beef works out great for my diet. What's my favorite meat cuts? Actually, the favorite thing I'm eating on this diet is the stupid hamburger patties. Put a piece of cheese on it, and that's what I like the best. And a piece of butter on top to get some added grease to it. But my favorite is probably either a ribeye, which everybody says, or a T-bone. And before somebody says, "Oh my God, those are so expensive," remember I bought a whole cow. Okay, so I got a bunch of steaks for $4 a pound. My ground beef was the same price as my T-bone, so it doesn't matter. I mean, my entire cow cost me $4 a pound. Would I be eating ribeyes and T-bones if I had to go pay $18 a pound or whatever they are in the grocery store? Hell no, I can't afford that. But I can afford what's in my freezer. Susan Musser, I've lost 15 pounds in the 3 weeks on the keto with Mrs. P. Congratulations, good deal. Okay, see, teamwork. Tony DG says, so far I'm down 10. That's good. Definitely P. When are you going to start your potatoes in the garden? If you give me a second, I will tell you exactly when. Give me a chance to. Sugar-free, caffeine-free 7-Up. There you go. Sparkling water. And again, I'm going to pull this up. I will tell you this is for my area. This is not if you live in the United States, this is when you plant it. No. Potatoes. My potatoes will go in the ground mid-April. So I've still got 7 weeks till I can go in. And again, depends on the kind of potatoes you're planting. Okay. I plant Pontiac Reds, so those are a little earlier than some of the other ones. Okay, let's get back to the right website. Okay, Okie Forge, have I heard about the bills in Tennessee to block ESG in our state? Yep. Hope to God they pass. I mean, fortunately, Tennessee is probably in one of the top, I'd say probably top 6 or 7 conservative states in the country. So, David Hammond, do I think an EMP takes out solar panels? No, it won't take out the solar panels, but depending on the generator, if the generators are plugged in at the time, yeah, you're going to take out the generator. Pat Martinez says, I had the same results with the electroculture. Yeah, in other words, none. So, yeah. I mean, and some people swear it works. More power to them. Let them keep doing it. I'm not wasting my time or my money anymore. I tried it, didn't work. That was it. Kevin Little found a set of 6 two-way radios on Amazon for $50. There you go. Have some features in a 30-mile-an-hour range. Researching for us and the family in that range. That's a hell of a deal. I got 2. I think they've got about a 30-mile range, and I think I paid $100 for them. This was a couple of years ago. So as long as they are true two-way radios, which means they've got to be programmed all to be on the same channel. Okay, and not that they're 6 CBs, walkie-talkies or something like that. That's different. If they're 2 ways, that's a hell of a deal. I'd jump all over that. Tringo, what foods are you eating, Mrs. P? Or unless it's what foods are you eating and Mrs. P? Again, it's probably beef, probably 3 times a week, pork once, chicken thighs or chicken legs twice a week, salmon once a week, and then I will either fill in for a side dish, pork rinds, or can of sardines, or occasionally maybe a couple eggs or something like that. So yeah, it's the diet that everybody goes, this is what we were taught not to eat, right? Okay, because we needed to make Kellogg's and General Mills rich and kill ourselves. Greatest thing I've seen, and to give you this as an idea, a lot of you guys are my age, some of you are older. Okay, think back to the 1950s, the 1960s, the 1970s. Most people were thin. Go to a beach this summer. You ain't going to see a whole lot of thin people. Okay. We've been eating this processed crap for so long and eating supersize me for so long that what is it, 80% of the population of the United States is overweight? I mean, that's insane, And I'm not saying anything about anybody, okay? It's just one day, I mean, when I went to the doctor, it's like, okay, I got to do something about this. I'm going the wrong direction, okay? You do you, I'm going to do me, okay? But, I need to be around for her, so. What's Mrs. P eating? The same thing I am, though she will add a cucumber or maybe a little spinach. She will have a yogurt, as close to sugar-free yogurt. Yeah, and I mean, that's about it. She'll have, a little bit of vegetables or a little bit of dairy, her yogurt or whatever, just something to tide her over for her sweet tooth, so. But she's done, I was telling her tonight, she's done good. 3 weeks and no bakery. I'm proud of her. How'd the dishwasher repair go? Done. We got that all taken care of. So that's nice to have the dishwasher drying again. Wasn't that big of a deal. So I had to replace an element, and I was just took some time to troubleshoot and figure out what was going on. All taken care of. Blackjack 22, pinball started my diet just after you, lost 12 pounds already. Good for you. There we go. This is it. Keep going. I mean, so between the four of us, the two of you guys that said something, me and Mrs. P, we've lost a combined 50 pounds. Hey, there we go. Thomas Seaman, what are my thoughts on Trump backing Lindsey Graham? I know Lindsey Graham's backing Trump. I mean, I don't know if Lindsey Graham's running for re-election or whatever it is. If he is, I don't know anything about it. Lindsey Graham is still a dirtbag. His loyalties change as the wind blows. So if Trump's backing Lindsey Graham, that would surprise. I mean, I wouldn't say him negatively do anything, but I don't see Trump doing anything whatsoever. I don't see why he would support Lindsey Graham, because Lindsey Graham stabbed Trump in the back too many times already. Happy Canner, what do I think about the balloon going over the U.S.? Well, that's probably the biggest bet in Vegas right now, is when Joe's going to shoot it down, if it gets to the Atlantic first or not. Do we want to let China get all the data going down the southern tier now that they're going along? They already got all the data from the northern tier. So, yeah, I mean, this is just stupid. That thing gets into our international airspace over the coast of California, over the ocean, and it should be taken out. Sorry, you don't have authorization to fly in U.S. airspace. Goodbye. Don't care. Well, we got off course. Well, I guess you can go pick it up with a rowboat. Mustard Prepper, will there be a Biden-Trump debate? I sure hope so. I'd pay to see that. I highly doubt it. You'll hear all the rhetoric, why Biden, I can't, he doesn't tell the truth. I mean, then again, who the hell's going to moderate the debate? CBS, CNN? I mean, there's the problem. get me a real journalist, one who's not biased, and it'll be some. But I mean, to listen to Joe Biden trip over his tongue for 2 hours, and to listen to, like last time, Trump having to debate the moderator while Joe stood back and watched because the moderator did all the work for him, it's just a waste of time. John Zeckerly, what kind of stereo system do I have? I haven't had a stereo system in a couple of decades. So I've got a phone with a playlist and a Bluetooth speaker, and that works for me, or my car, or my truck. Ellen Knipe, I bought the 10-ounce silver bar I recommended. Should be here Monday. If you guys saw that, I put that up the other day. It was one of you guys sent that to me. It's a 10-ounce silver bar at spot price, no premium whatsoever. That's huge because silver usually comes with a 15 to 20% premium. You could buy a 10-ounce silver bar at premium if you got, what, $220 or whatever it is right now to get it. Jump all over it. Because, I mean, most of the time you're going to pay $240. Hey, you ever go into anywhere in a store and says, well, we got $20 off that this week? No, thanks. I'd rather pay full price. If you've ever done that, please let me know. Milo's Home Bike Shop. My roommate just bought 1 grain, I'm assuming you mean gram, of silver just for shits and giggles. Okay. Yippee. Not going to giggle. It's not funny. It's stupid. Okay. So, what's that going to get you? Gee, can I have a green bean, please? You have to pay me more than that. My McIntyre, how do you spend a gold bar? Well, let's see. If we get into an SHTF situation, and because when I buy my gold, it's in 1-ounce bars. Okay. If I have to buy a horse, if I have to buy some land from somebody, if I need anything in a big purchase, that's what I'd be using. Okay. My silver is, as I've said many times before, my silver is my 1s, 5s, 10s, and 20s. My gold is my 50s and 100s. That's how I'm looking at it. And how, you come to my house and you want to buy my truck and you want to pay me in gold, I'll take that. You want to pay me in crypto? That ain't happening. You want to pay me in gold? I'll take that. So that's how you spend it. You find somebody who knows the value of what you have. Missy B, pinball advice on preps for kids heading to college in the fall, 2 hours away. Radios, I hope if they're going to college, I hope they've got a bicycle, okay? A bug out bag for sure, stocked, that's in their car or in their dorm room or wherever they're staying, and ready to go at a moment's notice. Because depending on what happens, if they're 2 hours away and all of a sudden it's like, crap, I got to get home, how are they going to do it? Well, maybe they get lucky and they have a car. A lot of college kids don't, okay? Start pedaling. It's a long ride. I mean, I'm guessing it's about 100 miles, okay? You can do 100 miles on a bike in a day. Better have a pack on your back too. So you better know about water purification. You better have a water bottle in there. You better have some food, And again, I don't know where you live, but you better have warm clothes too. I mean, most important thing I'd have, ham radio, bug out bag, bicycle. Cutie, not to be gruesome, but what are my bowel movements like on this diet? That's a lot of meat. That's what's funny. Practically non-existent. Okay. I used to be, and again, you asked the question, I'm going to give you the answer. You know me, I don't care. All right. I used to be pretty regular. Get up in the morning, shit, shower, and shave. That was it. Right. Go take my shower and get on with my day. The shower and shave part Well, the shave part doesn't really happen that often either. The shower part happens every day. The others, maybe every third day now. And it's not like I'm constipated or anything like that, carrying anything around. Nope. It's just what I'm eating, my body's using for fuel. And before somebody says, oh, you're getting all backed up, I will tell you this, and any of you guys that went through basic training, in the Army will remember this, or maybe Marines, whatever. How many times did you take a shit during basic training? 8 weeks. What'd you do? Maybe 3 or 4 times? Because the food you ate, your body was using everything of it. You didn't have the waste to get rid of. Same thing, okay? By eating the fats and the proteins, my body's using all that. There's no fillers that my body's just passing through. So, yeah, no, actually, fine. Lena Turner 8. I bought an EcoFlow 1800 and a battery that's EcoFlow. The 1800, that's the max. Okay. I'm assuming you got the extra battery for it. So good deal. All right, I got you what you're doing there. Okay. Staytime 85. How do you make acidic soil? It's more how do you make soil acidic? And you're going to be using some sort of soil acidifier. What you can do, I mean, you can go out and buy, there's a product that's called soil acidifier and put it on. Or what you can do is take like a 5-gallon bucket of potting soil and start pouring vinegar over it. Mix it in. You're going to need a pH monitor for this. They're $10 or whatever on Amazon. Okay. Stick your pH monitor in that soil until you get your pH to where you want it to be. And then you can go mix it in with your regular soil. And then you're going to measure the pH of the soil again and see if you need to add more. Okay. Again, this is where it comes into knowing what pH specifically your plant that, whether you got rhododendrons or azaleas or blueberries or whatever, all these things that like acidic soil, you need to know what pH it is. And then you have to change the soil yourself to make it the correct pH. Why can't I think of the name of the flower? Crap. Shit. But I can't. They're big ball heads, and if you have the soil very acidic, they'll be red. The flowers will be red or pink. If you have the soil very alkaline, the flowers will be blue. You can actually change the color of the flower by the acidity or the alkalinity of your soil. Shirley, Sir Pinball, our groundhogs have come out of their holes skinny, so they must have used your diet. Groundhogs eating beef. I don't know. I think I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the cow. So, let's see. Jason Hoff, can we use lemon juice to make soil more acidic? Use vinegar. Vinegar is a hell of a lot cheaper. Nightman's wife, this is going back to that old question for the person who was having a baby, also looked at old-fashioned diapers. Yeah, if you're going cotton diapers, still, get a bunch of them. I mean, 100 of them. You'll be amazed how many times you are changing diapers in a day. You'll be doing laundry every day, too. Just warning you about that. Cotton diapers are a lot better, a lot cheaper, but a lot more work. Lena Turner, how do you connect an EcoFlow battery? What kind of connect it to what? Yeah, you're gonna have to give me. I don't know what you're trying to do. Connect it to what? Victoria, purchase a first-time parenting book. Cloth diapers, make the baby food, breastfeed. Yes, I agree. Again, start thinking about how did your great-great-grandparents raise your great-grandmother, your great-grandfather when they were kids. There wasn't, chances are, running water or disposable diapers or Gerber baby food or anything like that. They had to make it all, and they had to use what they had. And somehow humanity survived. All right, 9:59, one more. Frugal family farmhouse. Wind farms being built in Pennsylvania do not benefit Pennsylvania. All electric is being shipped to West Virginia. And if I remember seeing something the other day about it, is Pennsylvania's thinking of shutting them down because, gee, here's a surprise. They cost more to operate than they generate in electricity. Yes, it's a net loser. So, all right, guys, happy Saturday evening. I'm going to go call my buddy from high school. Have a good one. Pinball out.